Gasol with a series of moves, rebounded by Hart. So the Pelicans back to the offense.
Pelicans not a veteran team yet, but if they are, they would go to the same play with a pick and roll to move Gasol off the ball.
Reach-in is called on Powell.
The young teams sometimes have trouble with understanding what just worked. Sometimes young teams go away from what just worked, and the veterans know, wait a minute, let's exploit this mismatch until this team makes an adjustment.
Mel up top, gets it down low. Hart backs it up and hits a three for Josh Hart.
It's all because of the pick and roll play. You put Gasol in a pick and roll with a guy that can shoot like Mel. What happens? You get penetration, great passes, open look from the corner.
Mel defending on Gasol. Now they switch. Gasol is doubled, got it down low. Anunoby with the rebound and rejected by Mel. Alexander Walker, nice feed. Back comes Van Vliet. Van Vliet straight down the lane with a scoop. It counts as a foul. Strong move by Fred Van Vliet, who went through a series of injuries last season and came back strong. He's about to head to the line. Frank Jackson is called on the foul.
The Raptors 3 from 10 from the three-point line. So if you're the Pelicans, you must understand that the Raptors want to get a stop and push it, even force the refs in a tough position to call and get a foul, slow the pace down until they can speed it up and control the pace.
I'm told Josh Hart just went back to the locker room. He was hurt a moment ago. This is Belly with the three once again.
Again, you're going to keep hearing it all night because the plays work that the plays work. Penetration into the middle. You cause the big fella that's used to coming down to help, and you get a wide open shot.
Siakam try to get it inside. Nice ball movement by the Pelicans, and Frank Jackson, second-year man from Duke, with the bucket. Van Vliet switching hands on the dribble, and the foul is called as Van Vliet again took to the rim.
So impressed with the Pelicans. Look at this. First of all, the knockdown shot. That's when you attack. But you want to see the ball movement. You want to know what happens out of ball movement. That's 13 assists for the Pelicans on 16 field goals made. Now those are Golden State type numbers. If you want to talk about teamwork, very impressed again, I must say, with the young team being that efficient.
Foul was called on Jackson. With Brandon Ingram getting set to come back. Fred Van Vliet off to the good start. Remember, he began the playoffs struggling with that three-point shot. At one point in the Eastern Conference Finals, he was shooting 19% from three. And then his son, Fred Jr., was born, and Fred Jr.'s dad caught fire at one point, hit 14 of 17 from three-point range.
And somewhere young Fred Jr.'s mom is saying, wait a minute, I did all the work. Give me the credit.
And again, it's Melly from the corner, his third three-pointer. Van Vliet also coming back from a chipped tooth and a severe cut under his right eye. Played so well. Key games in the championship round. That's last touch by Lonzo Ball, who just checked back in.
Tell you what, he's young, he's exciting. Says you can hate on him all you want, but he gets dimes. That's so.
Suffering from hair loss? Advanced Hair Studio has led the world in hair restoration procedures and programs for 45 years.
Biotechnological trials indicate this treatment can increase hair growth in the majority of men suffering from hair loss.
These highly effective treatments are all available at Advanced Hair Clinic. So call now.
Just like I did. Yeah.
Call 1300 Advanced now.
You watching for the Jays?
Or are you watching for these Jays? Remember the biggest move of the season?
Hard in the step back.
Yeah, but this was pretty big too.
You watching for the dynamic duos?
Or you watching for the MVPs?
It's been a long time since I've been this excited about an NBA season.
Celtics, Sixers, Nuggets, Blazers. Tomorrow on ESPN2. Ball for all.
What?
Are you ready for 3 huge NFL games?
Everybody be a star tonight.
Will Phillip Rivers and the Chargers
cash in.
be ready to handle the mighty Khalil Mack and the Bears? Are the Browns ready to turn their season around when they take on Brady and the Pats? And is Aaron Rodgers and the Packers ready to dominate the Chiefs? It's the NFL on ESPN2. Are you ready?
This rivalry runs so deep.
A throwback feel, but a very relevant high-impact game.
I think it's time to let go. I thought I'd let you all know. It's time to let go.
This fight's not only a fight that people want to see, this is for the baddest in the game.
Undefeated in the streets, Jorge Masvidal.
The real is back. If you like watching real fighters, tune in.
Nate Diaz loves to scrap.
I'm a warrior. I'm here to kill and be killed.
Dana's making a belt just for that. This is the baddest in the game belt.
Oh, I'm so excited.
ESPN, home of the UFC.
9 on the shot clock as we resume in what has been an impressive first half for the New Orleans Pelicans. 17 field goals, 14 assists. Oh, and lead from way downtown.
You just got to shake his hand on that one. That was a rainbow all net. Let's see now if ball gets back into the pick and roll with he and Holiday. Even though Ibaka's in it, he can move closer and get up there and trap the pick and roll.
Holiday played on a switch by Ibaka. 5 on the shot clock. Now that pass off the mark, but it's kept alive, and Ibaka gets to it. Lowry on the skip. Ibaka lost the handle, but he was offensive foul. Ibaka
Tell you
thought
what,
he was going to get the call, but it was an offensive foul.
I believe this is the toughest call to make as a referee. It can be so subjective, and tonight, just great job. Yes. See, Drew jumped in within that paint, but he stayed vertical, and you cannot hit the defender with that off hand or that off elbow, and twice tonight, the refs have been right on it with a good call.
New Orleans up by 8. The bench has done a 25-0 for the Pelicans against the Raptors bench. Because Alvin Gentry's done a lot of shuffling in this first half. Ingram putting moves on Siakam. Favors is off. Van Vliet on the drive. Shot deflected short by Ingram. Picked up by Ball. Here's Ball putting the speed on. Redick back on the floor as they whip it around. Ingram. That's a hacking foul.
This is when Brandon Ingram can grow and develop. We saw him last year with the Lakers playing a game in which he didn't score and had 11 assists, and I saw his development and growth happen then. If he lets the game come to him, he will be so explosive and exciting as he has the length, the athletic ability, and the heart to finish inside. Just let the game come to you, and I think that's when we'll see him grow by leaps and bounds.
Foul committed by Siakam. So 2 shots here for Ingram. The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Burger King. Get 4 cheesy tots for just $1 for a limited time only at Burger King. And by the Telluride from Kia, official automotive partner of the NBA. Pelicans up by 12, just under 6 to go in this first quarter. Siakam got the step. Nicely done by Pascal Siakam. He now has 10 points. Ingram lost control, but he drew the foul. Pelicans 5-0 in preseason for what that is worth. As you see the foul call.
The best players that I've played with and watched over my career have been the best decoys as well. Understanding when to set yourself up, understanding when to set others up. If you're like Redick, understand you have a green light and your job is catch and shoot every time.
That's Terrence Davis, who just checked in, rookie from Ole Miss. Ball accelerates. It was deflected. Here's Van Vliet putting moves on Redick. And it is Ibaka with the foul.
That's why you want to attack. Let your big mans come behind you and clean it up. Don't worry about the percentage. Attack the basket. Put the refs in a tough position and give your bigs a chance to clean it up.
Ingram on the turn.
Pelicans, you must build the wall. Being that Siakam has a size advantage and can go right into the post.
Goes right at Redick and draws the foul. Had the mismatch, took advantage.
And look, when you attack the basket, you allow players to play their natural positions. And we've seen Coach Nick Nurse encourage his guys to attack, attack, attack. And if they don't, what difference does it make if they get a steal or a stop on the other end if they just come down and get a tough shot in the half-court offense?
Pascal Siakam will shoot a pair. We take a look at tomorrow's ESPN doubleheader. It's the Celtics at the Sixers starting 7:30 Eastern time, followed by the Denver Nuggets, Portland Trailblazers starting at 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Marv, you've seen a lot of basketball, and we get to talk about it all the time. I must ask you and put you on the spot. I've never been this excited for a basketball season in which I haven't played. And I'm sure you have context. Is this one of the most exciting off seasons and then maybe expected seasons that you've seen?
Oh, I agree, because of all the player moves of stars that have been dealt or signed as free agents.
Yes.
It's been incredible what took place during the summer months as Redick knocks down a 3. Just too bad about Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
You have to feel for him.
I tell you what, as a former first-round pick or first pick, as a fan, I feel bad. You know, the one thing I hope is that he keeps his head while he's out, because you hear so many people talking and things that aren't true and things that maybe have truths. And can you eat properly? Can you work out? It's hard to work out when you have an injury. So how do you stay engaged and lose weight? How does he keep his jump shot going? How do you keep the chemistry with your team? So he's going to have a tough adjustment to get back, but I'm sure that he's looking forward to it and he'll handle it just fine. So I can't wait till whenever he makes his appearance, because we need some Zion in this league. It's going to be exciting.
It's true, because when you're recovering, it's tough to stay on the diet or whatever is being prescribed.
Yeah, and you're not burning as many calories. You still want to eat. You still want to work out. You're young. I mean, he's only 19. When I was 19, 20, entered into the league, I would eat pizzas before the game, hamburgers, White Castle. It didn't matter, and still run the same way. You were young. Let youth be your ally, and so hopefully for that he'll be okay. But definitely going to be a tough adjustment with him missing some time.
All right, for more on Zion, let's go to Kristen.
Marv, I did speak to David Griffin before this game. He told me there were multiple evaluations before making that decision to operate on Zion, but he did speak to him earlier today, and he said he's doing well. He said that Zion is only upset that he's not here with his team, that he was so looking forward to this. Coach Gentry said the same thing before the game, that the entire team FaceTimed him at brunch, and he's just sad to have missed the trip.
And, you know, Marv, as we see a bucket there, I think the narrative on Zion has been a little unfair about him being injured, because I really don't believe that he was injured during the preseason. I think that maybe the Pelicans said, wait a minute, why would we put him in this situation to get hurt, and maybe gave him a little bit of time off.
Right now, get 7 years free scheduled servicing across the 4x4 Holden, Colorado range. 7 years free scheduled servicing where you're free to go up there, free to go through that, free to tow this and this. With Holden, Colorado, you got this.
My name is Sarah Connor. My son John and I stopped Judgment Day. Enough of a resume for you?
No. Let's get something straight. It's my mission to protect her.
Do you believe in fate, Sierra?
We don't win this one, it's all over.
With the NIB app, you can manage your policy, check your remaining limits, and simply snap to make a claim. Because health cover shouldn't interrupt your life. Yes. That's how it should be. That's NIB.
This Whopper has no beef.
No beef!
Introducing the Rebel Whopper with a patty made from plants.
I've never had plant that tastes like meat before.
Tastes just like a Whopper.
It tastes exactly like a Whopper.
New Rebel Whopper. 100% Whopper, 0% beef. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
This rivalry runs so deep.
I think it's time to let go.
A throwback feel, but a very relevant high-impact game.
It's time to let go.
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for Monday nights to be as exciting as Saturday nights? And to leave a cousin's wedding early for Wild Card Weekend? Are you ready to destroy Daryl forever?
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, these 6 planes are ready. This grandpa is ready. Swoop is ready. The fans are ready. The teams are ready. Are you ready? The ATP Masters 1000 reaches the City of Light. Paris sets the scene for the final battleground of the season. And the best are here to cap off the tour with pride and prestige. The contenders are out in full force as they zero in on taking the last title of the year. The race to the ATP Finals ends here. The Rolex Paris Masters, first round, Tuesday on ESPN2 and streaming live on the ESPN app.
The ATP 500 Series makes one final stop in Europe.
A packed crowd will be cheering every winning point.
The superstars of today and the rising stars of tomorrow go head-to-head in the biggest tournament in Switzerland. Timing is everything, and the best will all be gunning for the season's last points.
King Roger reigns supreme.
The Swiss Indoors Basel, October 26th through the 28th on ESPN.
Welcome back to Toronto. NBA Opening Week 2019 is presented by Auto Trader with 3:37 remaining first half. 3-point lead for the Pelicans. They've led by as many as 11. Balanced scoring for New Orleans. Raptors led by Van Vliet with 15. Siakam with 12. New Orleans in possession. Ingram running off the pick, gets inside for the one-hander. It's good, and the foul.
It showed me a lot on that play. I anticipated a broken play because Coach Gentry called a play out of bounds. And what happens with most young teams, they'll come out, not know what Coach said, and mess up the play. Look at this. Come off the pick and roll. Now you have Favors going down. Ibaka can't help. So when you go into the pump fake, you know that you have Siakam one-on-one on an island. Ingram, again, uses his length and his wiry frame, the strength in his wiry frame to get the and one.
10 points for Brandon Ingram. And a 6-point lead for the Pelicans. Van Vliet off the pick on the hop for Siakam. They swing it. Van Vliet for three. And it will be Toronto ball.
Good job by the veteran, J.J. Redick, saying to Zoe Ball, listen, I think this play is going to come again, and when it does, we must come together and communicate switch. Not just think we're going to. We have to communicate and finish the play.
Anunoby. Terrence Davis with that shot way off. Davis, the rookie from Ole Miss, was a star wide receiver in high school, an excellent athlete, and we'll see much playing time off the bench. Ingram try to scoop. Davis got it to Ibaka.
Nice pass by Davis.
Four-point New Orleans lead. Pass play broken up. Ibaka has a 3-on-1 development. Goes all the way to score. So the lead is 2 as we approach 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Holiday with a look-away pass for Ingram. Siakam gets to it. 3-on-2 for the Raptors. Lively one-hop set up for Lowry. Beautiful pass from Van Vliet.
And if you're the Pelicans, you have to realize, listen, settle down. We've gotten 2 good plays by our big fella going on the point guard. We must keep the ball in. Oh,
what a pass from Lonzo Ball.
Oh, my goodness. And the double pump finish inside. And if you haven't had a chance to watch an NBA game in person, Drew Holiday, his size is unassuming. He doesn't look as small in person. I'll tell you what, he does not care about going in amongst the trees inside the paint.
Assist number 5 for Lonzo. It's deflected out, last touch by the Pelicans.
Here's that pass you were talking about, Marv, and that's what I'm saying. I don't care what anyone says. He's one of the most exciting passers that's in the game today, and if everything else keeps improving along with his passing, it's going to be something special.
Siakam, that'll count. It's a goaltend. Lonzo Ball is playing with so much confidence.
And again, I've been around this league a long time, 25 years, and Alvin Gentry has always been a trusted coach, whether it's an assistant or a head coach, and he's given these young guys confidence. And Marv, you're right. You see it in the play of Ball tonight.
So Lonzo will head to the line, fouled on the act by Davis. And one of the areas he has struggled in, along with the outside shot, which seemingly has improved. The other area is at the foul line, only 42% last season. And the Pelicans have their shooting coach, Fred Vinson, working with Lonzo, and it has paid dividends. Let's see if it does right here with Lonzo at the line.
Yeah, 2 shots, Marv, no hesitation. And I tell you what, having been a poor free thrower, shooter, and then a pretty good one later, it's no feeling like that. It's like you almost have control of the game like you've never had before, because you can play with a freedom that you've never had before, especially late in the game.
Nice hesitation moves by Lowry, but did not work. Here's Fred Vinson. 4th turnover committed by Kyle Lowry. Coming up, it's the American Express halftime report. It'll be live from Los Angeles with Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq. Followed by the Lakers and the Clippers. That's a Clippers home game, incidentally. Beautiful reverse by Ingram.
I love it when players take it personally. If I'm Brandon Ingram, just because we're in the NBA. If I'm Brandon Ingram, I'm looking at Siakam like, no, no, no. I'm taking you every time because I know you won one, but we're the same size. We play the same game, and guess what? I'm next. And obviously, Siakam has felt that way about other players over his time here because he's just continued to improve. But you need that personal battle, in my opinion, to be one of the greats. You have to want your team to win, but you also want to win the individual battles. And right now, Siakam and Ingram going at it.
So Siakam to the line. You know, some coaches, head coaches, don't believe in shooting coaches. But there are guys who have really done a terrific job. Obviously, Fred Vincent has. Chip England with the San Antonio Spurs, as Tony Parker will attest to. Kawhi Leonard.
There's some great ones. Buzz Brayman, he was mine.
Right.
There are a lot of coaches I played for that didn't want guys to lift weights or wanted you to eat a whole hog before a game because they heard that's what worked back in the day. And so those that are stuck in a time warp, those are the ones you may not want to be advised by. You want the ones that are always pushing the envelope. And whoever J.J. Redick, when Redick retires, what a shooting coach he's going to be.
That's his third three of the night. And a foul is called. Let's see, it is a kickball, not a foul. And here's Vincent working before the game with Lonzo Ball.
Tell you what, it starts with having someone to believe on you and practicing the same way. I played with a guy, Kevin Martin, whose jump shot came from his hip. It's not about where your shot comes from or where it goes. It's about the consistency of where it stays each time. And they're trying to find some consistency with the placement of Ball's jump shot.
Nice move by Siakam. Well, Kevin Martin had one of the more unusual shots, but was successful. Redick fires one from deep.
Yes, I mean, let's just think. Cartwright, Vinnie Johnson. It's like a golf swing. You know, everybody has their own individual golf swing, and the only thing that's pretty is it a nice one? Is it effective or not?
8-second violation as Lowry walked it up. And another turnover for Kyle Lowry. You rarely see that call. He was thinking of killing the clock with only 16 seconds remaining in the half, but killed it a bit too much.
Yeah, and I think when Van Vliet gave it to him, he didn't realize what it was. And now look at the difference, or look at the substitution pattern that Coach Gentry put in the game. He moved Derek Favors out, brought a shooter in so that he could put Gasol back in the pick and roll. And what does Coach Nick Nurse do? Say, I see what you're doing. Let me get the big fella out this game so we can play you guys straight up and switch everything.
That's the rookie Nicolo Melli, who was hitting the three-pointer early on, is back on the floor. Pelicans will hold for a final shot. Holiday with 10 seconds to go. Played by Davis. 5 seconds left of the half. Holiday lost the dribble. Here comes Lowry, shoots from center court. That is the end of the first half. Pelicans lead at 61-56. We'll take a break, and then it's on to LA for the American Express halftime report.
Golden Eagle, Saturday, November 2nd, Rosehill Gardens.
You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Are you ready for 3 huge NFL games?
Everybody be a star tonight.
Will Phillip Rivers and the Chargers
cash in.
be ready to handle the mighty Khalil Mack and the Bears? Are the Browns ready to turn their season around when they take on Brady and the Pats? And is Aaron Rodgers and the Packers ready to dominate the Chiefs? It's the NFL on ESPN2. Are you ready?
Okay, the stage is now set. We know who the actors are and what they did to get here.
There will be a World Series in D.C.
If your team got here, congratulations. If it didn't, it doesn't matter. Sit down, get comfortable, and enjoy the show. After all, this is the World Series on ESPN.
The ATP Masters 1000 reaches the City of Light. Paris sets the scene for the final battleground of the season. And the best are here to cap off the tour with pride and prestige. The contenders are out in full force as they zero in on taking the last title of the year. The race to the ATP Finals ends here. The Rolex Paris Masters, first round, Tuesday on ESPN2 and streaming live on the ESPN app.
ESPN, home of the UFC.
Coming. The Golden Eagle. Saturday, November 2nd, Rosehill Gardens.
You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
"24 minutes in the books in Toronto. The Raptors got their rings, and they've got themselves a 5-point halftime deficit, 61-56. As they play host to the New Orleans Pelicans. Meantime, here in Los Angeles, they are getting primed for the Clippers and the Lakers here on opening night. Clippers will be the home team tonight.
Hey, Clippers fans, make some noise.
Hey.
Lakers fans, make some noise.
They might be the home team, but they really outnumbered.
Yeah. Well, they outnumbered out here. You don't know how it's in the arena. It's true.
You sound like a little kid.
They're out here.
At any rate, Ernie Johnson.
Always outnumbered.
Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Charles Barkley back for another year. And
like that fade, Kenny. Looking good, boy.
I got my Nas Escobar going on from the firm. Shout out to my man Sonny, who told me he could hook it up.
And he was right.
You got that Beijing?
Hey, that might be next if I can get the full. I might try that.
Cali Limit, I love that. We had two good tweets.
That's the one, boy, when I had that joint.
Come on, Kenny.
I can't get there. Hey, you can't grow it on. It only goes as 5 o'clock.
That looks like KJ, your son.
Yeah, I can only get the shadow.
When it's gone, it's gone.
Hey, I can only get the shadow.
Let it go.
It's gone.
Hey, how about American Express teammates from the first half of this game in Toronto? And it's the three guys who have come over to the New Orleans Pelicans. Brandon Ingram at 12. J.J. Redick, you know something interesting about J.J. Redick? Been in the league 13 years, has never missed the playoffs.
Well, we're going to bring that to a abrupt end.
And Lonzo Ball, 5 points on 1 of 4 shooting in the first half. All right. Kenny, tell me about Lonzo Ball.
Well, I think the one thing, obviously, born and raised in Los Angeles area. Played here with the Lakers.
Got a dad who's an idiot.
He has a dad who is very outspoken.
Idiot.
And right now, when you watch him play, there's a comfort level. Basketball is not about making shots or taking shots all the time. It's about the decisions. Because if you make good decisions, then all of a sudden your shots will go in eventually. And right here, this is a good decision. I'm open, the guy steps up, and I let it go. And now he hasn't shot greatly this evening, but he's made great decisions. Pass ball out, you swing. Jrue Holiday says one more time, freeze it here. I could have said, I'm going to take a 3, a tough shot, and just to show you I've been working on my shot, but no. Drive by Siakam, draw the defense, and do what I really do best, is find people in the lane. Again, coming off the pick and roll, Jrue Holiday is comforting by giving him the ball, freeze it here. I can come off this shot right here. He's tall enough, 6'6", to get in the lane and shoot the jumper. But Jrue Holiday says, no, I understand that this guy will find me, cuts to the rim, finds people. So his decisions are so much more comfortable now that eventually those shots will go in and be more consistent.
When we talk about the Raptors, obviously you talk about Kawhi Leonard, who's the Finals MVP, no longer there. So who is the guy in Toronto when in come crunch time? Who gets the ball?
Well, there's three guys, and I don't know the answer to that. There's Siakam, Van Fleet, and Larry. I would say Van Fleet or Larry would get the ball. But my question to the panel, is that enough to get them back to the promised land? Right here, we all know Van Fleet can shoot. He's very instrumental in them winning the championship. And we know he can put the ball on the floor and do this. He does this very well. So they have to do it by committee, Ernie. There's three guys, like I said, Larry, Siakam, and Van Fleet. Right here, Van Fleet draws and kicks. Siakam just signed a big deal. He's going to be getting a lot of shots like these. He's going to have a lot of opportunity. Last year in the playoffs, he was up and down, but he bounced back at the right time. So,
well, let me just say this. What's going to be interesting, what you're watching in this NBA game tonight is, America, this is a typical middle-of-the-road team. Because what separates the good teams from the bad team is stars. Both of these teams just got a bunch of good players. And this was a perfect example. And it's going to be interesting for Toronto because just because they gave Siakam that money don't mean he can become the man. Kenny has said before, hey, it was a lot different when I was getting 10 points a game when I had to go get 20 a night. That's not easy. That's what they're going to need from Siakam because, they had a good team with DeRozan, Lowry, and guys like that. But when they got a superstar, they won the championship. Both of these teams just got good little solid players. We don't know who the stars are going to be yet on either team.
Hey, Nickeil Alexander-Walker making his NBA debut tonight out of Virginia Tech and not bashful. In the first half, he had
a great preseason.
Yeah,
let's take that. But he is home, playing in Toronto,
Canada.
Yeah, but I didn't like his game because I wouldn't give a rookie the green light to shoot 6-4. He played 8 minutes and shot 8. He played 6-7 minutes, shot 8 shots.
Can he play?
He's 1 for 6 from 3 and 1 for 8 from the field. I do not give the rookie the green light. No disrespect. He might be a good player one day.
No, but those are good shots. Those are good.
Yeah, but man, he ain't making them.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
Your first game.
Listen, I'm not giving no rookie.
Your first game was in Alabama. Dude, when you were at the 76ers, you might be a little overzealous.
Yeah, well, that's when the coach got to say, yo, man, I know you're
might have said it at halftime.
No, you listen, as a coach.
But those are wide open shots. He's not forcing shots.
Yeah, I know he's not forcing. He's not making them either.
He made them in the preseason. He's a good player.
When we playing against them waiters and bartenders.
61-56.
Now we got like real NBA players now.
61-56 is halftime score.
That was look.
Hey, y'all better leave Boozer alone, man. Carlos, I got your back, man.
In time for Christmas.
There's still nothing up there.
Yes, there is.
Don't hide it. Don't hide it.
Come on. Hey, Boo, hey, y'all better leave. Don't hide
it. Live from Los Angeles, NBA Opening Week 2019. You're watching the American Express Halftime Report. American Express, official card of the NBA.
The Golden Eagle, Saturday, November 2nd, Rosehill Gardens.
You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Okay, the stage is now set. We know who the actors are and what they did to get here.
There will be a World Series in D.C.
If your team got here, congratulations. If it didn't, it doesn't matter. Sit down, get comfortable, and enjoy the show. After all, this is the World Series on ESPN.
The ATP 500 Series swings through Europe. The points race has reached a fever pitch.
Oh, how has he got that? That is one of the shots of the week.
And time is running out.
You just had a feeling that this was going to happen.
Precious spots remain for London, and those that are in still have plenty to fight for.
And what a point, and what a treat for all these fans.
Live from Vienna, the Earth Day Bank Open, October 25th through the 27th on ESPN2.
Friday, a full night of hoops.
Puts out the three ball. Yeah, baby.
It all starts in Adelaide when the 36ers battle the Taipei.
They just keep hiding. Too fast, too quick.
Then Mitchell Creek runs the show for the Phoenix against Bryce Cotton and the Wildcats.
Drops it. Down she goes. And up go the fans here in Perth.
The NBL live on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Oh, this is historic.
ESPN, home of the UFC.
Twitter is alive and well on this opening night of the NBA season. Shaq lost weight and Chuck found it.
See, that's a
You lost 40 pounds. You lost 40, didn't you?
You lost 40 pounds.
He lost 40 pounds in his face.
I told you. Look at his belly. That's why I don't do social media. These fools are idiots.
You look good.
Thank you, brother. Did you see those people criticizing Jack Buck last week and he wasn't even doing the game?
No, we're talking about you.
Joe Buck?
Yeah, Joe Buck.
But we're talking about you.
They thought he was doing the game. They were criticizing him. He wasn't even doing the game. That's why these people. Oh boy, that's.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James.
There you go.
Lakers.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here tonight.
That's game 2 of our
There's no place I'd rather be.
No question.
From the Eastern Conference to the Western Conference, BetEasy has your NBA betting covered. So make sure you raise your game with the official wagering partner of the NBA. Download the BetEasy app today.
Right now, get 7 years free scheduled servicing across the 4x4 Holden, Colorado range. 7 years free scheduled servicing where you're free to go up there, free to go through that, free to tow this and this. With Holden, Colorado, you got this.
Don't miss a moment. Get Hungry Jack's Flame Grilled Whoppers delivered on Menulog. Order Hungry Jack's delivery only on Menulog.
You watching for the Jays?
Or are you watching for these Jays? Remember the biggest move of the season?
Hard the step back.
Yeah, but this was pretty big too.
You watching for the dynamic duos?
Or are you watching for the MVPs?
It's been a long, long time since I've been this excited about an NBA season.
Celtics, Sixers, Nuggets, Blazers. Tomorrow on ESPN2. Ball for all.
Okay, the stage is now set. We know who the actors are and what they did to get here.
There will be a World Series in D.C.
If your team got here, congratulations. If it didn't, it doesn't matter. Sit down, get comfortable, and enjoy the show. After all, this is the World Series on ESPN.
This rivalry runs so deep.
I think it's time to let
go. A throwback feel, but a very relevant high-impact game.
It's time to let go.
It's time! Oh, this is historic.
ESPN, home of the UFC.
BetEasy makes it easy to raise your game. BetEasy has more features, more live vision, and an online betting experience made easy. All to help you, like me, raise your game. It's easy to raise your game with BetEasy.
Welcome back to Toronto. NBA Opening Week 2019 is presented by Auto Trader. Pelicans with a 61-56 lead on the Raptors as we get set for the second half. How about this stat line, Chris? 22 field goals, 18 assists for the Pelicans in the first half.
You said the Golden State Warriors? I mean, and I say that, of course, in jest, but what I mean by that, we all know about the ball movement of teams like the Golden State Warriors and systems like what Coach Kerr has. And that's why I'm so impressed with the fact that they are moving the ball and playing selfless. Yes, it's game one, but it's still happening early.
Well, Alvin Gentry was an assistant, lead assistant for Steve Kerr several years back. Let's check in with Kristen.
Marv, I spoke to Coach Nick Nurse at halftime, and I asked him what he talked to his team about in the locker room. He said it's not about our execution, but our energy. He said that we started the game with very low energy. He also mentioned a couple of areas statistically. He said we have to give the Pelicans fewer rebounds, fewer second chance points, though the Raptors are winning in both of those categories. So I asked him, is the energy perhaps lacking after the ring ceremony? He said it could be, but at halftime I told those guys to decide right now whether or not they wanted to win.
All right, buckets by Van Vliet, and then Holiday. We talked about that earlier on the pregame show, the possibility of team being a little hyped up, and could that affect them on opening night as it has affected other teams in recent years? Foul is called on Redick. That is his third.
And you know, Marv, I'm reminded of a scene last year in the playoffs with Kawhi sitting in the tunnel and guys on the Toronto Raptors playing around trying to give him 5, and he doesn't even look at the guy and points at the court. The reason why I brought that up, Kawhi played 60 games and Siakam played 80, and Kawhi still took the most shots, still had the highest field goal percentage from three-pointer. And it was the culture that he brought from San Antonio. And I know this is with great cultures lose game one, and this game is not for me all year for the Raptors is who's necessarily scoring. Leaders.
Well, as Ingram is able to knock very solid players.
Yes.
I mean, even without Zion, New Orleans done a good job in terms of filling the roster compared to a year ago. But neither has a major star, and you have to have at least one. And these days, it seems two.
You are so right, and Charles is right. And until you get that major star, you know what you need to have? A major sense of urgency. And that's what these teams need to start off with, knowing that you don't have that player you can rely on. And for me, Toronto, it all starts with their mentality that was Kawhi-like last year.
Here's Lowry open. Yes.